everybody? Alright, so today we're going to look at run block AI mostly. Um, and I got a couple of little weird debuggers set up, so we'll talk about those as they pop up. Just more to remind myself when I look back at this later, like what the heck is going on. But what we're looking at specifically are, let me just run a play real quick. Let me just, we'll run and then we'll stop this real quick. Alright. What we're looking for are, oh, you can't see it. Prepare, run. Okay, so those little red lines, you see those running around. Those are who the linemen, I guess those are the run block targets. So the blocking target. So we're like a little red line going from that lineman to that defender. That means that's his assignment. So those will point to assignments. Those will be useful when I'm playing back the video to kind of figure out why did a guy do a certain thing. When you see the offensive linemen change colors, so let's just run one. See, they're all purple now. You'll see they'll turn that cyan color or gray. What's going on there is if they're cyan, that means they've switched, they're within block range and they're actually trying to do a block. When they're in purple, they're just running to get to the guy they're trying to block. And when they're gray, they have, the AI has decided that there's no valid path to get to the guy they're trying to block. So there's like an alternate AI section that says, all right, well, if I can't get to the guy I'm trying to block, what do I do? How do I get to him via some other AI considerations? And I don't know if anybody remembers when I was developing this engine, the previous version of it for Head Coach. The AI is totally modular. So, I don't know if you can see the code. Let's see if you can't see. No, you can't see the code. All right. Well, anyway, we'll bring that up someday to talk about it. But basically, it's modular. So the AI every AI just is made up of little plug and play components. Like one component is the path between me and my target valid. That's a component that almost everybody uses. Another component will be things like, as I'm evaluating players, rate the guys closest to me more. Another component will be, is this guy, rate guys who are not being blocked higher than my interest in those guys higher than guys who are already being blocked. And there's probably like 25, 30, maybe even more than that. I don't know, somewhere around like 25, 30 of these components that I just drag and drop different components in for the different AIs. So part of the components for if a blocker can't find a valid path to his guy, it switches out and it starts looking for things like, okay, well, if I can't get right to him, can I at least get an angle that's appropriate for where the point of attack of this run is? So things like that. Like, I can't get to the guy, so let me position myself better. So anyway, that's what all that's going to be. There are also two different types of pre-snap blocking assignments. We might look at both of them. Right now I'm using the one that it seemed to work the best for all of the engines so far. But I might turn on the other one just to run a few plays just to see. So anyway, with that, here we go. So we're going to try this against so let me just load up my offensive plays. I got this jumbo. I got one with a guy in the back, a blocker in the backfield, lead blocker. So we'll look at that. I got an end around. And then just kind of the same as this one, only stretching it that way, just to see if the blocking changes at all. Alright, so we'll run through these kind of quick. I do want to put the running back a little more inside, because I know inside running is a lot harder than outside running when it comes to blocking. So let's try that. Alright, so here we go. So the hole looked okay. One thing to note, I have on offense, the blocking skill is all bumped up for everybody. Speed and strength are the same for everybody except this wide receiver here. I jacked his speed up just because it was taking forever for him to do the end around. But blocking skills higher, speed and strength is the same for everybody, and running ability is, I moved that up kind of high just because I wanted the running backs to look at if there were actually holes to get up in the holes. So, all right, let's run this again just to see. But let's have the running back kind of just dive right there. And what moving the running back point of attack does is it changes the angle of where the guys are trying to block. So if I take him and I run him this way, you'll see the linemen try to get in a better position. And they're outmatching the defensive ends. They're better. So that's why they're winning every time. But I do want, that's kind of one of the things I'm looking at is what are the linemen trying to do? More of that than are they able to win the matchup. I want to make sure they win the matchup so I can actually see what they're trying to do. See, yeah, there's a gray guy. He couldn't find his way to his guy. Oh yeah, the other thing I looked at this morning, and I had forgotten I made this decision a long time ago. If you notice, everybody's basically one-on-one blocking. That's by design. I had double team blocks in there. You'll see double teams once in a while, but for the most part, it's one-on-one blocking. And that's because, ooh, there, get him. Yeah, bad cut. And that's because it's really a game about space. It's not really a power game, and it's also a game about matchups. So like if I double teamed all the time, you could take a defensive lineman out of the game really quickly by double teaming, and that's not really fair. You could have two average linemen just dominate a great defensive lineman, and that kind of sucks. So let's set up so that it's all matchup based. So it's always going to be one-on-one blocking except for the rare cases. Ooh, that's a hole. Yikes. Yeah, outside running, like off the tackles, has always been one of my favorites. Let's run it again, see if we get, yeah, they're all dominating. Let's go with the 3. There we go. Yeah, it's just a lot more fun for like individual against individual based matchups. It's kind of fun for the game because then you need to have quality everywhere. You can't just cover up by double teaming players or like double covering, like double man covering doesn't happen very often because it's so matchup based. All right, the basic run blocking is actually looking pretty good. It's actually looking pretty good. They seem to be I'll have to check the tape for sure, but they seem to be matching up pretty effectively. I think I did 2 D linemen for this one. Let's just run one just to be sure. It looks pretty good so far, but I mean, this is about the easiest case. Yeah, that's all right. So that's looking good. Let's try some other more advanced AI. Let's try the lead blocking AI. So lead blocking's always been tough because, I see this in almost every football game. It's tough because when do you have the blocker look for guys to block? Do you have him block? Do you have him like bail out of it? Like, here, let's bring up the sweep. So like this lead blocker here, he's in lead block AI. When do you have him decide to start blocking guys? Do you, like, in the middle of his route, do you have him break off if he sees a guy's block? Well, that I use that sometimes, and it does about what you would think. Like he almost never gets to the end of his blocking route because he's always finding somebody early to block. So like these 2 guys are supposed to lead out here. If you allow the lead blocker to break off of his route, they almost never get there. They both just immediately start looking for guys to block. All right, well, that doesn't work. Actually, let's just run this. So what I have them do is I have them actually get to the, oh yeah, that one wide receiver is super fast. I actually have them get to the end and then look for guys to hit. And what that does is, so if you kind of watch these guys, they get to the point. Oh, wonder what happened to him there. They get to the so this allows for play design purposes. What this allows you to do is define the point where they start looking for blocks. So I don't necessarily like if I want him to look for blocks, like if I want him to look for blitzers or guys who have beaten their defender quickly, I could just say, all right, well, only lead block to there and then look for a block. Right? I get to define when he breaks free and looks for somebody to hit. Whereas if I say, no, no, I actually want you to ignore everybody until you get way out there, by having the targeting AI kick in at the end, I get control of that. So that's why I've chosen to do it that way. I don't know necessarily if it's the best system. I think for a game that's designed like this, where it's it's about individual matchups and you get control of those individual matchups through the play creator. I think doing it this way, giving you the control of where he looks for blocks, makes more sense than just having the AI override your decisions. A lot of football games that I've played recently have the AI override the play. But I don't know if that's because they don't actually let you design your own plays, or if that's just because of how the engine works or the AI works. I don't really know. I just know I like it better this way. Yeah, see, that time he did it. I wonder if there was a... Why does he stop over here somewhere? Yeah, no, his running seems to be fine. Sometimes I click the buttons in the wrong order, and that gives me problems. All right, so I think I got enough on that. Let's load the other defense and see how it works. The thing you'll notice, the difference between 2D line... See, yeah, he's stuck there. I don't know why that is. That's really weird. Why did he get stuck? It's here. And then his AI kicks in. Sometimes his AI doesn't kick in. Comes around, gets there, and then that's that. Oh, weird. Maybe the tape will tell me. A lot of times it's because I'm not clicking things right. Yeah, the difference when you're playing, we'll get into defensive strategy in another video. But defense is all based around how many linemen you have, and maybe you guys have noticed when I play, the blocking changes drastically based on the matchup. So like you'll let's do a different play now. Let's get that one. So watch this. So 3 D linemen against 3 O linemen. The matchup is very simple. It's the guy takes an offensive lineman takes the guy closest to him. Very simple. 2D linemen, when it's kind of an odd match, things get a little different because the center doesn't always know where to go. So he's now looking for somebody to block, and you get this. You kind of get. Usually you get these huge holes because 2 against 3 is, it's a mismatch. But you can also you can use the defense that way, and you get these weird matchups where one of the offensive linemen goes somewhere else. Now, as a defensive coach, you could use that to your advantage and say, well, maybe I want this lineman out of the way because I'm going to delay blitz somebody up here, right? So you can use odd number matchups to design defensive plays to get what you want too. Now, pass protection is different than run defense, but it's like a tool in your toolkit for a defensive mastermind. And then on offense, you have to take that into consideration when you're calling plays. You're like, all right, well, I'm going to run this run play up the middle. Maybe I want my lead blocker, to come right up here because on the off chance, I'm playing a team that likes to run 2D linemen, so I know my center's often going to be out of position for this run. So maybe I bring my fullback up there just in case, and you can do things like that. Or you can do things like this. You can say, okay, well, I know that like most teams are going to run 2D line. I don't want to run up the middle and have my center not know what to do. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take my center and I'm going to actually have him lead block straight up the hole, and then I'm going to have my fullback lead block right behind him. And now I'm guaranteeing my center is going to be in the middle of the field when he looks for somebody to hit. So like you get all these freedoms now, but it's like strategic game of chess against, and this is all based on the defenses. All right, well, what front are you going to run? So now if the defense comes back with a 3-man front, well, now that center pulling up the field becomes a lot less valuable. So there's a lot of inside baseball on something simple like run blocking, but like you can see the theory here and why I've chosen to make it very player versus player single matchup base is because it opens up strategic options not only for offense, which is it's really easy to have strategic options for offense because they're the ones designing the play, but it opens it up for defense too, which I think is the really cool part. Let's do this. Let's move him over there. My quarterback got in the way. So overall, I don't know. The run blocking is looking good. The tape's going to tell me a little bit more. So far, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how well it's working. Kind of at everything I'm throwing at it, it's working pretty. Ooh, he got. Well, I don't know what he was doing, dude. I think I have yeah. See, I have everybody's rated at 60 for most of their AI. Which gives them. I have this little clock going here, so I can kind of see what the AI refresh is. No, yeah. See, he did kick into his AI. Sometimes they get 60's not great for AI cycles. I might actually. I was thinking about increasing the speed of their AI for the mid-range players because, like at 99, these guys are 90s and above. These guys basically are never stop reading the field. But at 60, it's like a second and a quarter in between AI cycles, and sometimes, like you can see, well, like that wide receiver too. Sometimes they'll get to the end of their route, and there's that second before their next AI cycle, and they kind of stop and they look broken, but really what it is because his blocks or his skill is only 60, so he's waiting like second and a quarter before he does his next AI cycle, and it looks kind of janky. I might have to give a boost to low to medium end for AI, just so that you don't get that. But then again, I mean, if you're gonna start guys rated in the 60, you kind of on a team here, you're gonna have not a lot of players lower than like 50. So the bad end of your roster is gonna be around that 40 to 60 range. So maybe you do want to pay a penalty for that. I don't know. Let's do this though. Let's just test it. Let's just see. Let's jack up this guy's AI. So player 7. Run block. His run blocking is pretty high, but I don't know if he's in run blocking mode at that point. Let's do this. Let's run it and then pause it right there. Run, pause. And let's see what his AI decision making. Now his decision making time is good. His block targeting time might be the problem. So what I have a target timer. All right, so he's stuck right now. Let's see what he's doing. He is in lead block. Oh, he's in lead block mode. His decision time's fine. His block target time is 125. Delay time is 0. Block target timer has passed. Alright, there's a timing issue in there. Alright, cool. Well, I got it on tape now. I can find it. That's cool. Yeah, he's stuck until he goes into open field running. So the running back... Where's the running back? I don't know where the running back is. Whatever, let's just play it. He forgot the ball. Yeah, he's stuck. Okay, I can fix that. There's a timing issue on the lead block AI. No big deal. Alright, so yep, we hit about 20 minutes, so I think we got everything I need on tape. Blocking looks pretty good. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'll look at the tape. We'll see if there's anything major that needs to be changed. If not, we'll just go into another AI, probably like screens or pass blocking and screen blocking maybe. We'll probably keep talking about blocking. There's a couple of blocks. Like there's blitz pickup, screen blocking, and pass blocking. Those are the 3 different blocks for pass plays. Maybe that's what we'll look at. Alright, that's it for today. Next time.